Hello, football fans. Welcome back to Hurdle the Line. This is your host, Chapman. Yes, I'm back after a few week absence. Sorry about that. I'm sure you're all really sad. But I'm here, more importantly, I'm here with my two normal Monday hosts and the newest member of Hurdle the Line, Batch, Ollie, Tom. How are we, guys?
Yeah, just still trying to take in all these things that are going on, honestly. It's like it's like yeah, just crazy adrenaline that just like goes on with this. Like it's mad.
Well, let me give the audience a little bit of a context. We're coming to you on Monday, first day of the new league year. Legal tampering is going on, which now is just free agency, which
Yeah,
literally,
Yeah,
I mean, we've been saying this for 2 years now. This
yeah.
makes
There's
no
no
sense.
point.
But
Yeah, just call it
like
free
free
agency.
agency starts on Wednesday, but it starts on Monday. So yeah.
yeah, exactly. So we're going to be going through all the latest deals. So you'll get it like hot off the press when you listen to this podcast. You'll be all caught up. Um, But before we get rolling, gentlemen, just a reminder, Hurdle Line is part of the AAW network. And if you scroll down in this podcast, you will see many links to our hosts on different social medias. But more importantly, there's a Discord link which you can join. We talk about football, we talk about NFL, we talk about college, we talk about Britball, we talk about basketball. There's all sorts of stuff on there. Please join, be part of our community. And we'd love to make sure you're subscribing to us on wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you. That out of the way. Let's talk about the two biggest trades that happened over the week before free agency. One of them involving Tom, your team, which we will start with, and that is the Chiefs traded Trent McDuffie to the Los Angeles Rams for a first round pick and a couple of other late round picks. One of the best corners in the league, a young corner coming up for a deal. Tom, talk to us about this trade and how you feel about it.
Yeah, so it all kind of started last season when he didn't get a contract extension last off season. So they kind of pushed the boat down the road. And it's now, the bill is due. So I think it makes a lot of sense. I think they tried to get maximum value of what they could, which I think they got a great haul for him in all fairness. They got a first round pick. They got a fourth round pick and a fifth round pick in this year's draft, and then they also got a third for next year as well, for a guy that was gonna, slated to become a free agent next season. But for the Rams, it's a great move for them because the one area that they struggle with is the back end of their defense, and they now get a premier corner, who will be perfect in, as me and Ollie when we were talking about it, in that zone scheme. So yeah, and then for the Chiefs, it's a sign that they believe in what they can do in the draft with cornerbacks because as we'll probably go into as well, that the whole secondary seems to have gone, but now they're going to be looking in the draft to bolster those positions. They got Noel Williams last year, and he had a really good rookie season. So they're hoping that he can, do something. But they're also going to look to bolster that in the draft. That's for sure. They're going young at defense and trying to build out that offense so Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to do everything.
But Tom, can I just ask you a question? Just like I'm gonna push back a little bit on this with you. He's 24 and he's one of the best cornerbacks in the league. That's typically
25.
25. Okay, sorry, 25, 24. He's still in the prime of his time. You
Yeah.
drafted him. He's been a good player for you.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, is it tea leaves here that it was probably he was going to go try to get max dollars, so you'd rather trade in an asset now, or is it they just didn't want to pay this guy and they think they're going to hit on another? Because I mean, cornerback is one of the hardest things to hit on in the league in terms of that shutdown because usually there's like a bunch of them drafted in the first two rounds, but really only one of them, one-ish, maybe two hit, a season. So my only thing is like he's a really, really good player who's
Oh
still
yeah.
very young. And so believing that you're so amazing at drafting, which again, yes, the Chiefs have obviously put a bunch of good teams together, but there's no
No,
there's no
basically
guarantees
what
in
I'm
life.
saying is that he was too expensive. He was too rich for the Chiefs'
That's
blood
what I'm
in terms
asking.
of what I mean, look at the contract that he got. It's, upwards of
I mean,
25 million a year. Like the Chiefs were
it's
not,
the most of any quarterback. So
yeah,
they just knew they could
that's it.
not put that into
They
the
just that
rotation.
just wasn't going to happen, and they've been able
Mhm.
to develop late round cornerbacks in the likes of Jalen Watson, who was a seventh round pick, Charvarius Ward, and L'Jarius Sneed as well, as well as like other kind of late round guys. So that's what they're banking on, that they can do that. And even though it's not going to be able
They're
to,
cashing in on an asset that they
yeah,
weren't going to be able to
But
keep. That's
but I
what
also
I just want to understand.
I
Go
also
ahead.
think you're asking as well, Chapman and Trevor, if I'm wrong, but like at what point do you pay your best players? Do you know what I mean? Like
we never play corners though. We just
you're
don't.
paying Patrick Mahomes, you're paying what Chris Jones. Who
Yeah.
else are you paying mega bucks to? Do you know what I mean? So like, no, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is the worst thing to do. I mean, this is a
Mm.
great. I think this is a great move really for both teams. I mean, Rams get, as we discussed, Rams get a great corner at a position that they needed probably more than any other position, and the Chiefs get a great haul for that. You can't really turn that down if you're the Chiefs,
Mm.
the position that they were in with him probably going to leave anyway.
Yeah.
But I do understand some people saying, do you know what I mean? At what point do you pay your players? And I feel like with the contract that Mahomes is on and the money you can move around, you could have paid him. But as you said, it's clearly just that faith that you can just go and draft someone else and replace him.
Yeah, because the last time that the Chiefs actually re-signed a cornerback was Eric Berry. You
Yeah,
know, they
yeah.
let
The great Eric Berry.
yeah, I mean Eric Berry was great as well, but they let Marcus Peters go. They let I mean L'Jarius Sneed, they traded him,
And
so they just don't give cornerbacks a second contract in
yeah,
Kansas City.
they've won what, four Super Bowls, whatever it is. So
Yeah,
it's clearly worked. So
yeah, yeah.
I don't think anyone can criticize the strategy.
Hmm.
Well, we'll see. And you do love Ollie. Just flipping back to what you were saying. You think this is a great move by the Rams,
Oh yeah, I mean,
mainly
well,
because they had two first round picks to play
don't
with.
get me wrong. I mean, not to be the hater, but like I'm not. I don't think Trent McDuffie is like top two, top three corner in the NFL. Like some people put him in that discussion. I don't think he's in that discussion. So don't get me wrong. When you give a guy like that contract, it is a little bit like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? I need to see him step up. But as you both said, as you both pointed out, he's 25. So you're not banking on him being in his prime per se, as you said. You're banking him. He's not even entering his prime yet.
Mhm.
With he's still yet to turn 26, 27, 28. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a great move. They filled a position that they got probably the best player that you could acquire. Clearly, I mean, I don't think you could have got a better corner on in any way. Draft, free agency, trade. You weren't getting a better corner. You know what I mean? Like Denver's not giving up Pat Surtain, so
No.
I don't. This is probably the best player you could have got
Well,
at the position that they needed the most.
and let's also remember Sauce went for two first last year.
Yeah, and So now you say that, I mean,
Jeez.
it's a great move when you look at it like that. Not having to
Now,
give up
now
two
Tom's
first.
a little salty. He's like, "Oh man,
Yeah,
could have
why
gotten
did
them
we get
too."
two first?
Talk about two first round picks. Let's talk about the other big trade this week, which was our second favorite defensive player in the league, Myles Garrett being the first, obviously. That is Maxx Crosby, who is hands down probably one of my favorite players in all the NFL right now. Batch, he went for two first round picks from the Ravens, 26, 27, 14 overall this year. Next year's more than likely will not be in the top 20. Um, Good move for both teams.
Yeah, I personally think it is because the Ravens need someone to give a little bit of aggression in their backfield, in their defense, and the Raiders, they are on a massive rebuild. Yes, they've spent a bit of money today, but they're on a massive rebuild, so the extra picks will definitely come in handy for them. And truthfully, he wanted to be a Raider for life, as was his quotes. But then at the same time, something's gone awry there. I think it was towards the back end of last season where they were like, we're going to leave you out. And he's like, he even said, I'll play till the death, basically. So, obviously, why not get what you can for one of the best defensive ends in the league, with the exception of Miles? I
Yeah.
think it's a good trade for both sides.
Uh, Tom, what did you think about the Maxx Crosby trade? Any thoughts?
Well, first and foremost, I'd seen what a competitor this guy is in the division. Like he's an absolute handful. But I think it makes sense, definitely from the Ravens' point of view. For the Raiders, it's just signaling that they know they're going into a full rebuild, basically. The one like core player that they've had on their roster for the last what 7 seasons, something like 6, 7 seasons. Um, that he is now gonna try and win a Super Bowl in Baltimore and try and push that Ravens D line. There's something that they pride themselves on their defense and getting the guy the Condor. I mean, he just fits the Ravens flock perfectly anyway with his stance. But it's just a premier difference maker on that Ravens defensive line. So I think it makes a lot of sense for them.
Yeah. Any more thoughts on Maxx Crosby? It'll be interesting seeing him go from R to R, Raiders to Ravens.
I'll do the devil's advocate
Oh boy, here we go.
because obviously why not? And I said that, I said this when they signed Derrick Henry, and don't get me wrong, obviously look how good that offense was. You know what I mean? Like I looked quite well. No, I didn't. Could have said I looked quite silly, but at the end of the day, I said this to Tom not that long ago. But was I actually wrong in terms of did they go and make it to a Super Bowl with Derrick Henry? In terms of because my argument when they signed Derrick Henry was yes, they're going to be good, but is this what they actually needed? It is what they needed to take the next step with Lamar. And maybe you could make that argument with Maxx Crosby in terms of are they in a position to give up the assets that they gave up, give up the money that they gave up with the contract to a guy that's he'll be 29 when the season starts. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, we all know how good Maxx Crosby is, but you could make an argument that maybe you go give that contract to Trey Hendrickson. You don't have to give up the draft picks, and you can still build around the ways that you kind of said it there, Batch, as well. You mentioned it with the Ravens. Like the Ravens have a lot to do as well, not just the Raiders, but like the Ravens have got quite a lot to replace on both sides of the ball. So giving up the assets that they gave up for a Maxx Crosby, is that really when you watch the Ravens, are you going, yes, what they need is Maxx Crosby? Yes, maybe some people do, but if me playing devil's advocate right now, I'd say, similar situation with Derrick Henry. Maybe you're getting a bit too greedy.
Well,
Can I just add something? It's the first time the Ravens have ever give a first rounder for a player.
And they gave up two.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
that's crazy.
Exactly.
He joins what?
That
Like
just-
one of 10, 11, 12 players that have gone for two plus first round picks.
Mad.
That's crazy.
Wait, how much was the Michael Parsons one?
That was also
Two,
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 wasn't
That was
Two
two,
first-
wasn't
it?
Yeah.
it?
It's interesting with two. Used to be back in the day, you trade three.
I
Three
mean,
is
there's only been a few teams that have done three, and unfortunately, my team is one of them.
Our
Well, sorry, Batch. I have to get used to that.
All right. Just a couple of other trades. I mean, the other notable one I think was the Bears trading DJ Moore to the Bills, which felt a bit desperate for a second rounder. And I think the Bills got a fifth and DJ Moore back. DJ coming off his worst season as a pro. I'm not out on DJ Moore. I think maybe him and Caleb just didn't work, and I don't think he fit well. And they want to get younger in that offense and whatever else. But
Still got two Hail Mary or two like big touchdowns as well in the playoffs.
yeah, dude can still probably play. I just don't know if I'm sending a second round pick
Oh
to
no!
get that with what the Bills could have, what else they could have done. It just feels very reactionary.
It feels like they keep trying to put we've been screaming at them for what 3 years now to figure out the wide receiver position, and it just feels like they keep just trying to do this put a plaster on it by bringing in one of these aging guys that maybe had a bad season the season before on their team, so they become available. Do you know what I mean? It's like just go and actually just invest in a good wide receiver or something. You know what I mean? Well, not I say that
And
like it's not a good wide receiver. You know
there
what
was
I
a
mean?
better fit for them as well.
Yeah, I just feel like the money he's on and what you gave up, as you said,
Oh,
Chapman,
and and they signed him to a 3-year deal after. So
I
yeah,
just I
sorry.
just feel like what are we doing here? Like I just have we not? I swear you've done this like 5 times in the last 3 years with
I
similar
mean,
players.
you're so close. Why would you not try and figure out AJ Brown in that offense? Because I think he would work really well um, with with Josh. Well, I think AJ Brown's probably everybody but Hurts looks like he could probably work with at this point. But anyway, I'd rather give up a first for AJ Brown on what he's got 3 years left on that deal or 2 years left on that deal
Mm.
than DJ Moore. All right. There's probably some other trades that we have missed, but we've got a lot of free agent signings to get into. They've all been happening over the last couple of hours. We're going to call this our hurdle line free agent free for all. Question mark?
Nice.
Free for all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
ESPN's already taken Frenzy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Francis already
I feel like we are
got.
quite
Wanted
limited.
out Furiosa didn't quite go, so I was googling F words. We could have said free agent flux, but it just sounded like something you take to go to the bathroom. So
Practice.
yeah. So anyway, we're gonna go free agent free for all, HTL free for all. We're gonna go around the horn. Each of us will get a turn of saying one that we've liked today. Tom, since you're the elder statesman, and you have the most Super Bowls of any of our teams, because our teams don't have any, we're gonna let you go first. Tom, what was
Yeah,
your
so
favorite signing today so far?
well, I'm gonna be biased, and I'm gonna say, wait, are we talking trades or are we talking in free agency?
Free agency. We're signing all the things that were happening today.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I'm gonna be biased, and I'm gonna say Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs because I've wanted that for the longest time. The Chiefs actually have now a competent run in the game. The Brett Veach said at the combine that the Chiefs were looking to get that explosive element into the run game. I haven't seen trying to do bit parts with it. Me and Ollie have talked about it for a long time that they've not built around Patrick Mahomes like for how great he is. And then getting a guy like this, obviously I know they paid a lot for him. The 3 years, 45 million with 28.7 million guaranteed. But it just adds that complete explosive element where defenses are going to have to account for that, and the Mahomes and that passing game is just going to benefit as a result of it. So I think that's a massive, massive deal.
Nice. Caveat, guys, as we go forward, when I call you, you're going to say the name of the player, team they're going to, and the cash that they're getting, years, all that stuff. So give us the stat line first, and then talk about why. All right, going back to Walker, you guys have needed this a player like this. I think this is a good move. Relatively okay in the price, and 3 years, 45. Does anybody have any thoughts on Super Bowl MVP rating going to the Chiefs? That's where they needed to get that money from McDuffie, right?
Um, well, I mean, yeah, but if it's me, I'm always I'm always an investor money in the premium position at quarterback. But that's just me. But I mean, yeah, they need a running back, but I don't know. I'm always hesitant about giving a lot of money to a running back in free agency. But it's the
Yeah.
Chiefs, so I'm sure he's probably going to be really just since he's playing with Patrick Mahomes. So, what I mean? You have to put that caveat in anytime. Like, anytime anything happens for other teams, it's like, but then it's like, it's the Chiefs and he's playing with Patrick Mahomes. So you always have to add that into it. So,
I mean, this is the team that traded like the best wide receiver in the entire
yeah,
league
do you know
away
what I
and
mean?
won
Yeah,
another super and
yeah.
won two
Won
more
two
Super
Super
Bowls.
Bowls in a row. So
Like,
Yeah, let me finish. We're giving you that credit. Batch, you'll have to understand there's this whole thing between Tom and I where he just interrupts me constantly, and then I have to
Oh,
keep
he's
calling
good
him
at
that
that.
out. So, all right, Batch, you're going to be up next. What was your favorite? What was your favorite signing so far today, or what's one you like?
One I like Dolphins signing Malik Willis. I think they give him a bit, like quite a lot of money, but at the same time, you're getting rid of Tua, so you need someone. And yeah, okay, he might not have been the most standout player, but when he stepped up to cover Love, he did a job competently. So I think that's not bad. Dolphins are full rebuilding because they've had a bit of a flash sale recently. So yeah, that's one of the better free agency pickups to say the least. But everyone knew it was going to happen when they announced they were getting rid of Tua anyway. It's just they've eaten a lot of dead cap for Tua.
Yeah. I mean, I actually think it's not bad. It's a good dart throw. The coach there, obviously coming from Green Bay, knows Malik Willis. It's Malik. And he's getting, looking at this, he's getting for 3 years, it's 67.5, but it's 45 guaranteed. So it's basically
Sorry, I
about,
should have said that.
yeah, it's about 20. No, it's okay. It's about 20, 22 and a half for 2 years just to see if he can be a good guy while you eat all that $90 million, $99 million for Tua. I don't hate it. I know Ollie, you were down on it because obviously he's only played 6 games in the pros. He was a third-ish round pick, I believe, when he
Third round
came
pick
out.
out of Liberty, yeah.
But
Yeah,
bro,
Liberty.
I would have been mad if the Browns signed him. What do you mean down it there? But I don't get why the Dolphins did it. Don't get me wrong. Like we all knew they were going to do it, but like I don't quite understand this idea of eating 90 million dead cap and then signing someone for 45 million guaranteed. I just don't quite get the philosophy when they have so much else that they need to build around that in that roster. So I don't understand why they've done it, but yeah, I mean, any team that I thought he'd probably get 50 million guarantees. So any team that got Malik Willis for less than 50 million guaranteed in free agency was going to be a good move for me. Like, you know what I mean? So
I think it's one of those where, yeah, Tua just had burned the locker room. It felt like and they just needed to, and
He was throwing
you got.
people under the bus, wasn't he?
Well, there's a thing in business too, where you sometimes you just have to pay people to go away, and unfortunately it is a ton of money to go away, but actually none of that's guaranteed. He's not, is he make, oh, he is making some of that, right? I don't know how much he had left on in
74
guarantees.
million.
74 million. Geez.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? I can imagine. Uh, Ollie, have you got one for us? Is there a move you liked, or knowing you, is there a move that you did not like that you'd like to discuss?
Yeah.
Because I'd like,
I was going to say, am I allowed to? Am I allowed to? I mean, I don't
100%. That is your brand, Ollie.
There is probably one that I could, put together that I could say that I do like. If you want me to do that.
No. I think it's on brand. If you want to go and give us one that you are not happy about, or or question.
I mean, not the Alex Pierce one in totality. You know what I mean? When you combine trading.
Wait. Name a player, team, money.
Sorry. Alex Pierce re-signing with the Colts for 4 years, 116 million. And I'm pretty sure
16?
116 million.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of that is guaranteed as well. Don't get me wrong, good player. Like that's an overpay for that kind of player, but like, you know what I mean, is a good player. But just everything involved with signing Pierce for that amount of money, trading Michael Pittman, and now being in a situation where we've heard the report today where Daniel Jones is asking for 50 million and they're going to be forced into a corner where they're going to have to give him 50 million. They've got no first round picks for 2 years. They've got no cap space. They've just spent all their money on Alex Pierce and what is going to have to now be 50 million on Daniel Jones. So just the whole situation of the Colts going into this free agency, throwing all of this money straight away at Alex Pierce, and just the situation they're in just makes me, obviously with my, profound thing with the Colts that I have to start with the Colts and my questioning of what on earth they are doing.
I cannot believe that Daniel Jones is going to once again get upwards of 40 something $50 million to play football.
I mean, I just don't understand. It's just you put yourself in this situation. You drafted a 20-year-old and thought that he would be, a refined player within 2 years, and then went, no, let's go bring in Daniel Jones. He played well. Now you're in a corner where you're going to have to give him, as you said, 40, 50 million. You're just given Alex Pierce, who has probably caught like 100 passes in the last, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, absolutely great deep threat, but 116 million for a player with that few amount of receptions is probably a record. But no, I just don't really understand what the Colts are doing. But that's I'm being harsh on Alex Pierce. Like, this is not me saying that I think signing Alex Pierce. Like, if it was just any other team signing Alex Pierce to this thing, I'd be like, you know, it's an overpay. Don't get me wrong, but Alex Pierce is a good player. But I just feel like with the Colts doing it and everything else going on, I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, Alec Pierce led the league in terms of I think it's yards per reception.
Oh yeah,
or something
one
like
of the
that
best deep threats in
last
the league.
season. 25 yards per reception or something like that. So they get another, I guess they get that deep threat, but they did pay a lot for it.
That's interesting. It's Fletch is saying Alex Pierce's deal is 60 million guaranteed. So that's that leaves 56 million that unaccounted for. And because I'm assuming that's somewhere in the 20 something, well, maybe two. That's not 60 million over 2 years, I'm assuming. Is that 60 over 3?
That's over 4. Would it be 15 million a year guaranteed?
Yeah, but I'm assuming he's making wide receiver one money, right?
Yeah.
So,
The way that the funny money will make it so that he's it appears that he's making like 20 whatever it is million a year.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna go, guys.
Go on.
Mike Evans, 49ers,
That's
3 years, $60 million.
That was the one I was going to say that I would have liked.
I'm glad it fell to me. I'm very excited. Mike Evans, I've got to watch his entire career because he's in the NFC South. I freaking love this dude. Uh, I hate that he's a Buck. I've hated he's a Buck the whole time, but he's awesome. I'd like to see what Shanahan can do with him in the later part of his career. I hope he's got a couple more years left. This will be his 13th season. He's been to 6 Pro Bowls, won a Super Bowl. Just awesome. Has 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons, which is just insane. Yeah, if he can stay healthy, he'll be really fun.
He needs to stay away from a power plant, though.
Everybody needs to stay away from the power plant. I like this for them. I don't know. I don't have a lot of analysis except for, yeah, good signing. Feels like, I don't know.
Yeah, because they didn't have anyone else like
Mm,
another dominant wide receiver for the 49ers. Like it makes a lot of sense to get him. And then the fact it's a 3-year deal as well, they clearly think that they can get some good tread out of even with him being, you know, he catches a lot of balls, doesn't he? Like he's a high possession receiver. And they don't really have another guy other than George Kittle and obviously Christian McCaffrey, but
breaking news, guys. Tua has signed with the Falcons.
oh, there we go.
Vet minimum.
Vet minimum 1 year.
The floor is yours, Chapman.
Woo! I mean, when I woke up this morning, I was thinking Joe Flacco, but no. I got Tua, who sucked so much in the national championship game for Batch's Bama that they had to bring in, or no, it was Hurts, and then they bring in Tua, and Tua beat us. So now I get to watch him play in the Bins once again. Whatever. I don't know. I mean, this is a see what you got with Penix here. Let's say Tua can. I mean, you got one guy who can't stop getting concussed, and the other one who can't stop, snapping ACLs. So we'll see how this quarterback room goes. 2027. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you guys.
No, I mean, as you said, breaking news. This is one of the
First times.
This was a guy that was making top 5 quarterback money, you know, just a couple of weeks ago. I mean, he technically will still be making top 5 quarterback money when you factor in the money he'll be getting paid by Miami next year, and obviously I'm assuming what will be a minimum. I mean, it says it's just popped up on my thing, 1 year deal. I've not said it. I'm assuming it's the minimum. If it's not the minimum, I'll be like, what is going on?
Yeah.
No. He gets his money no matter.
Still a lot of money, but it's obviously what he's getting from Miami. So, as you said, that is breaking news. That is one of the biggest news of today. And You get two left-handed quarterbacks, and you now have the chance to do the funniest thing ever, and that would be add a third left-handed quarterback via trade with the Cleveland Browns.
Yes, you can have him. Have
And
him.
trade for
Have him.
Dylan Gabriel just to complete the trifecta of Polynesian left-handed quarterbacks in the NFL on the same
Let's
team.
go. Well, I think that's
No,
the one
never
that.
mind. Never mind. Michael, I'm forgetting Michael Penix, obviously.
Oh yeah, there you go. All right, let's go back around the horn, guys. Tom, do you got one
Yeah,
ready to go?
I
And
got
we're
one.
opening it up now. It's one that you don't like or you did like, either or.
Okay, so I'm gonna say one that I did like, but it was kind of one that went a bit under the radar. Was Zaire Franklin leaving the Colts to some of the Packers? He's been a defensive captain for the Colts for a long time, and one of the most like sure tacklers in the league. Just a great veteran guy. So for the Packers to get him, I think was a really, really good move, especially when they got, those linebackers. I think Quay Walker is potentially up for free agency. Um, and Jonathan Cooper is really, really good. So I think that's a good move from them.
That's nice. Batch, throwing it to you,
Um,
buddy.
Bears signed Devin Bush, 3 years, 30 mil guaranteed. For us, for the Browns last season, Devin Bush was really good linebacker. Did everything that was asked for him. I'm glad he's getting paid. He deserves it. He played his heart out, and he's a different man since he was drafted by the Squealers. So, he deserves it.
I will say that's the first time I've heard squealers in my entire career.
Hmm.
There we go. Ollie, you.
I suppose I'll just get the Browns one out of the way. You can say good or bad, depending who you are. Browns have obviously signed a guard. This was the most obvious. If they were going to do a move, it was going to be a guard. I think everyone knew this was coming. They got what was, I think, was it Bleacher Report second best guard of the of free agency. So take that as you will. But no, they needed a guard. They signed him to 3 years. I know it was 31 million in guarantees. I can't remember what the actual the total was, Batch, if you can maybe pull that up for me. But they did a guard that played on the worst offensive line in the NFL last year. Well, it wasn't the worst. It was either the worst or the Browns were the worst, and it was the second worst. But they were missing both their starting tackles. He played every single game. The Browns, what they need is players that can play games, because that's what's been the problem with the offensive line the last few years, is that every single player, every starter, other than pretty much Joel Bitonio, has only played a handful of games every year. So bringing in him,
John,
obviously the trade for Titus Howard as well. Two guys that have been durable the last few years, play a lot of games. So, yeah, they need a guard. It's free agency. You don't have to overpay. So, but it is what it is. It's not too much money. He's a good run blocker. So we'll see
figures,
how it
by the
works
way.
out.
Figures, Ollie.
Yeah.
3 years, 49.5 mil, 32.4 guaranteed.
Yeah. There we go. So 32 million guaranteed. It's an overpay, but that's free agency. And that's why the Browns usually don't throw themselves into free agency, because they're not one of those teams that overpay for tier 2 players. But they needed a guard, they needed a veteran guard. You weren't going to go into next year with maybe 2 rookies or a rookie and a guy that's never started. So hopefully it works out.
I love how everybody on the pod right now looks like Adam Schefter, just checking phones, just checking tweets. Get breaking news. I had to apologize to our newest member, Batch. I said he was an Alabama fan. I was confusing him with somebody we have coming on the pod very soon. Batch is an Ohio State fan, which is unfortunate for him. All right. My go. I'm gonna say Travis Etienne, running back, Saints, 4 year, 52 million. Saints, just keep doing what you do, Saints. I love you. Just keep signing players for, actually, I don't know how much is guaranteed in that, but still, that's too much for Travis Etienne. Sorry. Yeah. And
Oh,
also,
yeah.
and
He's
like,
getting paid more than Kenneth Walker.
I don't think guaranteed wise it is, but we'll have a look.
But still, the Saints. They just love they don't there's no cap. There's no cap for the Saints. They can just keep pushing things down.
Yeah.
Kick the can down the road.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have to go around the horn again because I don't know how many of these you guys want
I
to talk
mean,
about.
I think the biggest one, of course, is Tyler Linderbaum
Mm.
absolutely smashing
Yeah,
the record
good
for
call.
money for a center, 27 million a year. Um,
Yeah.
which, to be fair, I think Cade May got quite a lot of money as well, but not quite 27 million a year. Absolutely, resetting the center market for a 4-win team is certainly questionable, but it's Tyler
And that's what the
Linderbaum.
Raiders do, Ollie. That's what the Raiders
But
do.
it is Tyler Linderbaum, and don't get me wrong, if my team went and did that, yes, I would. The first thing I would say is, shit, that's a lot of money. But then I would go, we got Tyler Linderbaum. So,
He
But
received
also,
the claims
a
we
rookie
tried.
quarterback needs that great
this
center.
is the
Mm.
best. This is the best center in the NFL, probably. So, and this is a guy I know Tom's obviously going to have his thoughts with Creed Humphrey, but Tyler Linderbaum is one of, if he's not the best, he's the second best. Whatever, you know what I mean. If you want to say that, but yeah,
He's top three, that's 100% sure. Yeah.
27 million. He's going to be like making top 8 offensive line money next year. Not tackle, like old offensive lineman, and he's a center. So that is crazy. We've seen a center. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. Me and Tom will agree with me on this. We're all for players getting money. And if
100%.
centers can climb up into that market, as much as we hate it as fans of our teams having to pay centers that much money, at least we're getting some love for the interior guys. But yeah, record-setting free agency move for the Raiders.
Rossini said that we tried to negotiate for him, but we were
Oh well, we
well
would have
priced out.
we'd have pulled out probably probably a long way before we got to 27.
Another free agent signing, which no one said about, Panthers signing Jalen Phillips, 4 years,
Yeah, yeah,
That's
that's
a
a good
lot of
one.
money, man.
That's
That,
a lot of money. He was good though for the Eagles. He was a good player,
Yeah,
but
but playing
but
on
was he 4 years, 120 million good? I don't think
and
so.
how much of that's fool's gold in terms of playing on that defensive line with
Yeah,
the two best defensive tackles in football on the interior. Good edge rotation everywhere else. I mean that's one of the best defensive lines in football. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of edges right now. I mean, Boye Mafe just signed with the Bengals, 3 years, 60 million. I mean, the Bengals have actually spent money, which I'm quite shocked by. They've got Boye Mafe and obviously getting what's his name, Tom, the center from
Brian Cook,
the safety from
safety.
the Chiefs. So Bengals actually spending money. So check out your windows tonight, guys. Pigs might be flying, and fish might be falling from the
will
sky
they be
from
Mike
dropping
Brown
money
might be
from
flying
the
in.
Bengals?
But, well, I mean, who knows, Chapman, at this point? I think they've spent over 100 million on the first day, which I think is got to be a record for the Bengals, and that making a lot of teams look poor right now with what the Bengals are doing.
Right. Yeah. I'm just sitting here ordering my Tua jersey. Sorry, guys. Um, sorry, my Tua kit. All right. I got one that I liked. It's just a re-signing though. It's Khalil Mack going back to the Chargers for 18 million. I was kind of hoping, like with everything that's going on with JPJ on our side, like he might be somebody that we could get in on our defensive side, and maybe that we'd pay somebody over $10 million to come in and be a defensive end. But anyway, I think it's a good. I think he's still a very good player, and I think the Chargers keeping him. I think that defense is. I think you want to keep players like him on your defense anyway. So I thought that was a decent signing. I mean, 18 million, maybe a slight overpay for him, like at this point, but I still think he's really a high end, disruptor, even if the sacks aren't like what they used to be.
I thought he did
Um,
well last season.
yeah,
And technically not I mean, technically a trade, not a signing. But Michael Pittman, I did kind of technically mention it earlier. and them extending him to, I think, was it 3 years, 50 million, which, don't get me wrong, as much as I hate to say it, that's a really good contract to get Michael Pittman under 20 million APY. So good deal for Pittsburgh. Hopefully that's good news for the Browns in terms of taking another team out of the wide receiver market in the draft. But yeah, I think that is a good move for the slip. But I mean, don't get me wrong, individually good move, but now they are paying what, like 50 million a year for him and DK Metcalf, two players that are slightly similar, which is slightly questionable. But in terms of in a vacuum, getting Michael Pittman for what they gave up and being able to get him for that contract, as much as it pains me to say, is a good move for the Steelers.
But they've just let Gainwell go as well, haven't they?
Yep.
Yeah, that's an underrated signing for the Bucks. I think Kenneth Gainwell to the Bucks. I think on a 2-year, 14 million deal. After he had a really good year with the Steelers, so I think that's a really good move for them. But it probably does spell the end of maybe Rachaad White in Tampa Bay.
That's what I was theorizing. The fact that they had two good running backs, and obviously one still on a rookie deal anyway. So it looks like Rachaad might be done, or even maybe drop to RB3, which I don't see.
I'd take him.
Big enough.
I'd take him as RB2. And he's from KC, so I'd take that.
Another big contract. Adafe Owe to the Commanders, 100 million, 68 million guaranteed. Another edge, as I said earlier, edge rushers getting a lot of money on the market today. So good for those guys. A lot of money, I suppose, but I think he had 10.5 sacks last year. So
I was going to say, over his last 2 seasons, he's got like 17.5, I think.
Yeah. And pass rush is premium in the NFL. So,
and as we say, Oli, we love it when players get their money.
Yeah. And I've just seen someone put in the chat, Gardner Minshew getting 1 year, 8.2 million, which sounds like he's getting a chance to just start for that job, compete for that job. So should be an interesting year in Arizona next year. And obviously, when I was hoping that Kyler would get some Kyler news as we were sat here, because that would be the biggest.
Yeah, news. I was going to say, where do you guys think? I mean, is it Vikings for sure?
Yeah, surely.
I mean, that would be the most like kind of Miami with Malik Willis. That was what makes the most sense, I suppose. But you never know. Maybe the Browns throw themselves in there. Nah, I highly doubt that. Probably the Vikings, I would say.
Yeah, I think they'll be the favourites.
I think we're paying one QB too many.
But then that would leave pretty much no team left to trade for Anthony Richardson other than the Browns. So I would obviously be very happy.
Jeez, if you guys bring in Anthony Richardson, you're just
Don't tease me, Chapman.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine, man?
I don't know. Lex was saying he would take him as a backup.
I'm a Browns fan. I love chaos. Bring me a quarterback battle of Anthony Richardson, Deshaun Watson, and Shedeur Sanders. I need it.
Jeez. Where do we think Trey Hendrickson's going to end up? Because I'm assuming he wants what? Like he's going to get a little, obviously less than Crosby, obviously less than Parsons, but
probably like 35 million.
He's 32 as well, isn't he? Right?
Yeah, but that's the problem. He's old, man, and I'm like,
I'd be scared to give him 35 million a year.
Who's giving him that?
Maybe 30. I thought Dallas would.
Do you think
I thought Dallas would, but then they decided to give up a fourth for a player that was about to get cut in Rashawn Gary.
Rashawn Gary, yeah.
Absolutely, mate. I mean, they're so funny, the Cowboys and Jerry Jones. They're the only team in the NFL that gives up a 4th-round pick for a player that's about to get cut. But so now I don't know if they will go and sign Trey Hendrickson. Obviously, now they've brought in Rashawn Gary.
Would the Pats sign him?
Who goes?
I think we'll go to the Bucks.
The Bucks. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I think the Bucks are the Eagles. But
the Pats would make sense. I mean, the Pats got a lot of money. I mean, the Pats, to be fair, that's probably been one of the biggest surprises of the day. Don't get me wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because I've not been paying attention to this team too much as I hate them. But usually every single year. I mean, legal tamping period. We've all said how it's now called free agency. It used to be called, legal tampering starts at 12 o'clock, and by 12, the New England Patriots have signed X player to 4 years, 100 million.
Yeah.
They are always, in the last few years, have been one of the first teams to go and throw 100 million at a player and spend a lot of money on player and free agency. So that's been one of the surprises today, that they have actually not been doing that. I haven't actually seen anything from the Patriots today.
No, I haven't either.
I think
I've seen a couple bits and pieces.
Draymond Jones, they signed linebacker.
Yeah, it's not a bad move.
3 years, 39 million. Nothing.
Oh, maybe not that much, but yeah.
Excuse me. Got a little bit of cough there. Yeah, I'm not seeing much else. They are quiet.
Very,
Tell you a
very
team that
pleased
hasn't
to
been quiet is the Rams, because obviously I know they did the McDuffie thing, but then they also signed. They basically just want to recreate the Chiefs' defense in LA. So they also signed Jalen Watson to a 3-year, $51 million deal with 34 million guaranteed, and they also re-signed their current safety Cameron Carl as well. So they're investing a lot of money in that the defensive, backfield to be able to try and go and win a Super Bowl
the
with Matt Stafford, a quarterback.
and talking about secondary, Tom, the Titans have just spent what 60. The Titans have just spent over 100 million on two cornerbacks. Cordell Flott, 3 years, 45 million, 32 million guaranteed, and then also Alontae Taylor, 3 years, 60 million, 42 million guaranteed. So they have just completely re-upped their secondary, talking about teams bolstering their secondary. And I think the Titans have been one of the biggest spenders today, which is probably not a surprise to anyone, seeing as they entered today with the most cap space in the NFL.
Oh, yeah. And another team that's also looking at the secondary as well was the Bears. Even though they were very good in terms of taking the ball away, they weren't great at stopping people getting in the end zone. So try and negate that, they have signed safety Kobe Bryant, who won the Super Bowl with the Seahawks, to a 3-year, $40 million deal as well. So lots of teams looking to bolster their secondary.
Yep. Another edge rusher going for substantial money. Quitty Pay from the Colts, 3 years, 48 million. As I'm saying, man, edge rushers are getting their money today. These third tier edge rushers in the NFL are getting their money today.
Well, you know why? You cash in because if Trey Henderson's out there playing chicken with everybody,
yep,
and people don't want to be left, might as well, right? I mean, they can leverage that if because typically it's usually the big domino falls, and then it's usually like the first two quarterbacks or whatever. So I'm actually interested also, just to switch gears here for a second. I'm also interested to see if anybody takes a punt on Kirk Cousins here. And where if I thought for sure that the Vikings might bring him back, even though that might be a little weird, but
Steelers like an aging quarterback.
No, I think Aaron Rodgers will do another year, surely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers.
It's not a bad fit, Batch. I get what you're saying.
Oh, don't get me wrong. If Aaron Rodgers is not back, then I don't. Yeah, 100%. That would not be a shot to anyone.
Do you think Cousins will will be like one of those, like the Jets?
He might be one of those guys that hangs around. He might not. He might hang around through OTAs, see if someone gets hurt. He might be one of those guys.
You mean pull a Joe Flacco?
Yeah, you know what I mean. You're always probably going to get a better opportunity if you're in his situation. Later into the year, into the off season, if with potentially guys getting hurt.
I didn't even see until just a second was Tyler Algier going from the Falcons to the Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
Yep.
And he only got 15. He only got 15 for 2 years.
2 years for 15. So, what do you think about that, Chapman? Obviously, him leaving after
Well,
he had a great rookie season as well before Bijan came.
yeah, no, he's been a great running back too. He's been a great player. He's an awesome blocker. He does everything. When I saw that deal, I mean, immediately all the Falcons group I'm on was like, how could we not make that deal work for us? We are going to have to pay London and then Bijan the next 2 years. I think they're going to try to get London's deal done now.
Yeah.
That they freed up the cap space with Cousins. So I can understand you probably don't have the money to pay, 7-8 million dollars for a backup, running back. So that kind of makes sense. But still, like I thought he would at least get 10 million a year or somewhere closer to that. Um, Good on Arizona. I hope he's great. He was an awesome Falcon, and we loved him on the team. So
What about another one of Harbaugh being reunited with Likely?
Isaiah Likely, oh
Three
yeah.
3 years up to 47.5 million.
Probably a
Harbaugh
little bit of
probably
an overpay if you think about it, because he's shown flashes, but he's been behind Mark Andrews for most of the time that he's been in Baltimore. So for him to get that much, but again, let the people get their money.
Yeah, it's potential as well, though, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
as you said, he was a number two behind one of the best tight ends in the NFL. So see what, and he's what, 25, 26. See what he can do as a role. I'm assuming as a main guy. You're not paying someone that amount of money to be your backup tight end. But they've lost both their tight ends other than Mark Andrews. Charlie Collar
Mhm.
went to the Chargers for quite a lot of money for him. To be fair, 3 years,
Yeah.
24 million, 17 million guaranteed. So they currently have one tight end on their roster, and thankfully it's Mark Andrews. So
Speaking of tight ends, Ollie, one that re-signed for a 14th season, Travis Kelce is coming back to
yeah,
the Chiefs for one final year. There was disputed reports out
boo,
there. There was one from Diana Rossini that
boo,
said that he was his agent was looking to speak to different teams.
boo.
And then there was one that Ian Rappaport came out with that
Yeah,
said that he was going to re-sign with the Chiefs, and that's what happened. So.
should have re-signed with his hometown Browns. Done
Oh.
done done his farewell tour in Cleveland where he belongs. But no, it's fine. It's fine.
we've got fun and it's fine.
Oh no, I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't want him for. Well, don't. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Travis Kelce's still a great tight end, but more just the story. Do you know what I mean? Just the vibes.
I found out today that Taylor and Travis are getting married on my birthday,
Oh,
That is
June 13th.
that's
So
nice.
we'll
well.
all
So
we'll all
so
be.
what that means, Chapman, is that it's never your birthday again. It's only ever going to be the anniversary of
Of
Travis
Kelsey.
and Taylor. So unlucky for you, mate, because your birthday no longer matters to anyone really.
It didn't before, so don't worry.
I'm kidding. It matters to me.
Matt's to me
To
too.
all of us.
Laramie Tunsil cashes in yet again, 2 years, $60 million.
This guy continues to get paid.
He
Good for
deserves
him.
it. Deserves
Good
it.
for him.
One of the better
By the way,
tackles
I
in
just
the
looked
NFL.
him up to remind myself of what he looked like. Dude, he looks like he's 87 years old already.
They tried to bring my guy down with the gas mask bong. They
That was
tried
hilarious.
to bring my boy down, and all he has done ever since is play good football and cash checks. So good on
Good.
Larry Tunsil.
Yeah, good on him.
You're right. He does look about 87. You're right.
And the and the,
I
To be
mean,
that
fair,
photo is just forever in. Like there is no funnier photo than him doing that.
That might be the best photo to ever come out of the draft, to be
And if there is if anyone out there has a photo of Fernando Mendoza in doing that with one of those gas mask bongs on, so that he falls to number 6, let me know.
oh boy, we're already doing draft talk. We're in love. We're in love with Fernando. All right, guys. Any other last call here? Any other deals? Any other things you liked on free agency today? I mean, it's still going to continue going, and my TV's doing real.
Anzalone,
Which
two
one?
Um,
years. Anzalone to the Bucks, 2 years,
yeah,
17 million.
Fletch loses his captain on defense.
I, th- I think that's a valuable signing for the Bucks because their secondary wasn't great last season. And Anzalone, he's not getting paid a huge amount, but at the same time, he is a good player.
And one that Ollie won't like because it's for the as what did you call them? The squealers, right?
Why are
Yeah.
you bringing it up then?
Yeah. Jamel Dean is signing a 3-year, $37 million deal to go to the Steelers from the Bucks, which is
I was just about to say Jamal Dean from the Bucks. I mean, that's quite a lot of money, isn't it? I mean, I'm not too mad about that, to be
I
fair.
mean, corners are just getting a lot of money, it looks like. So
I mean, don't yeah, it's premium position, but um, my final thoughts is not a player or a signing. My final thoughts is, as always, gotta give everyone, give well not everyone, give the props and these shout outs to David Mulugeta, who once again
oh yeah.
has just outperformed every other agent, and his guys out there getting more money than everyone because he's the best agent in the NFL. So shout out to David Mulugeta, who once again top performance.
And he's gonna be on a month-long vacation in the most expensive
It's
place
just
forever
the
now
amount of
after this.
money that he gets for his guys is insane, and that's why they have
That's
him.
why they re-up with him, man.
That's why they have him.
That's amazing. Um,
Pardon you, Chapman.
You're right.
You're all good. You're all good.
okay.
We're just getting out of flu season. I've had the flu for the last 2 weeks, just about getting rid of the final stages of it.
Well, I haven't had the flu, but I've definitely had some throat stuff. Anyway, a couple of things that Fletch wanted us to hit. So, the Falcons, speaking of, will be playing in Madrid next season after playing in Berlin last year. So, I get to see my team yet again in
Yes.
Europe. I'm very excited. So we'll see how that. Maybe I can see if I can finagle some of these Turtle Line friends to come meet me in
Well, I did
Madrid.
hear that Chapman was willing to pay for a entire hurdle of the line trip for everyone to go out there to Madrid. So we do appreciate the offer,
Yeah,
Chapman.
definitely.
We are
Thanks,
we're
Chapman.
considering
Oh
it. We're
yeah.
considering it. But we'll let you know if we're going to take it up. We will 100% take it up. So looking forward to that.
Premium economy for everybody.
That's fine, mate. You can put me in the hold underneath. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
mind.
literally.
However we get there, I don't care.
Um, Fletch, are you
Right.
there?
Fletcher's always there
Oh,
watching.
he's
He's there. Fletch, it says Lions center Graham Glasgow announces retirement. Fletch message.
This is where Fletch.
you're mute,
You're on
mate.
mute. You're on mute, Fletch. There we go.
I was just gonna put something in the group chat, so I'll hit on the three Lions ones really quick. I know you mentioned Alex Anzalone. I know we've lost him. That was expected. It was a couple of years ago. It was a bit off some of the talks. He's had a good year. Don't think he and Brad Holmes were quite at the same page on value on contract, so we were expecting him to leave. I think that was going to happen anyway. Graham Glasgow came back as a bit of relief because of Frank Ragnow retiring. We all expected him to be towards the end of his career. Sad to see him go. He's had a lovely career. But the two that hurt the most, I think, are Taylor Decker and David Montgomery. Obviously, David Montgomery's been traded to the Texans for a. Oh, there we go. It was we got a fourth round, seventh round, and Juice Scruggs. Can't remember. I knew it was a fun name to say. Offensive lineman Juice Scruggs for David Montgomery, which Ian Rappaport said was a fifth round value. I don't not quite sure how you get a fourth
Oh,
round
that
pick.
was so fun. That was so funny.
I'm not sure how a
That
fourth
tweet
round
was
pick,
so,
a fifth
it
round.
even got community noted on Twitter.
Yeah. So I'm not sure quite how a fourth round pick, a seventh round pick, and the player is a fifth round pick overall in value.
So
But
funny.
yeah, so I mean that was hard to take in. David Montgomery's been brilliant for the Lions for the last couple of years. I know he's been well highly spoken of, not just by me on this pod, but by most members for what he's done at the Lions. And Taylor Decker's had a fantastic 10-year career. Been a staple of that whole line, and he's the only remaining one from the old guard of the previous regime. So sad to see him go as well. So just want to say they're the two they're the two ones. They were hard to take, but football's a business. I've seen players I love even more come and go. So, is what it is.
Yep. Well said.
Jameer was raging because Sonic and Knuckles are broke up.
Yeah.
Do you think you go and add a not a starter level per se, but do you think you go add another guy that can maybe like? Do you think you now go Jameer Gibbs? Here's the ball 300 times a year, or do you think you do bring someone in to take not as much of the load up of as maybe Montgomery did, but take quite a bit of load off?
You don't go and get rid of a David Montgomery in free agency to go get another running back in free agency. So if you're going to do it, it's not
Oh
going to be
yeah,
a
yeah,
back
yeah,
at
yeah.
all.
Just
It's
draft a
going to
guy,
be, it's meant to have had to go out, circle a couple extra names on my draft board for
yeah,
people I've been
yeah,
looking
yeah,
at.
yeah.
So I reckon you're going to look at one of those early day free guys who can take some of the, because I'm not going to get into all the draft talk now, but there's some good value there in the draft. So I think you're looking, you probably go there for someone to take that bit of that load off Jameer Gibbs.
I think what I'm actually asking is, do you think Jameer Gibbs is a 300 carry a year type of running? Because I think I would have questions about giving him that amount of carries.
I think we're about to find out.
Yeah, Bears.
No, I think well, he's going to take the majority. He's going to take the
Yeah,
vast
yeah,
majority.
yeah, yeah,
Whether
yeah.
it does exceed the 300 number, will yet to be seen. But um, I think you'll have like a bit of a running back, but you still have a running back by committee. But now it will be like the
Yeah, him heavily.
vast majority.
Yeah,
Will be, it was happening for the second half of the season anyway. David
yeah,
Montgomery was getting wound up because he wasn't playing as much.
yeah.
So yeah, that was going to be basically the message I sent.
Nice.
You're going to send that message.
Roughly, without the addition of the question that Ollie
No,
asked.
that
but
entire, yeah, that entire, everything you just heard was going to be typed out in written format.
Is that your new stadium, Batch?
Yeah, well, that's the artist projections of the new
Looks
dog
good,
pound.
doesn't
Yeah.
it? Looks great. What you can't see in the background is the airport and the plane flying overhead. Other than that, which
But
is
we've got
great
to
for
do it
international
below.
fans, though. Which is great for me and Batch. Because if we ever want to go to a game, we don't even have to leave the airport radius, really.
Just
Yeah.
how I'd want to visit Cleveland, not leave the airport.
Wow.
We wouldn't even have to really go into Cleveland. It's about what 20-25 minutes away from downtown. So not quite the Bears going to Indiana, but
Or the Chiefs.
well, yeah, but I suppose that's technically
That's
because
literally just the other side of the border,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, because the whole Missouri, Kansas City, yeah, not being
It's
in
on the
Kansas.
Kansas state line as opposed to the Missouri one, which a
Yeah.
lot of Missouri fans are, pissed off or whatever, but it's really not that far. But leaving Arrowhead would be a great shame. But yeah.
And the Giants and the Jets play in New Jersey, so there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know all about that one.
Wow,
You
American geography in here. All right, guys.
Look, I saw that look of impressed. How impressed you were there, Chapman.
I mean, I had to work hard so my eyes didn't go in the back of my head. But yes,
You're like,
it was.
wow, these Brits know their stuff.
And
I have
they say
comments.
Americans can't do
He's speechless.
sarcasm.
He can't even. He's speechless.
Yeah. Some other little bits here, but they're all kind of boring, so I'm not going to hit them. All right, guys. I think that wraps up the show. Officially, obviously, free agency is going to be going on this week. This episode will land on Tuesday, so you'll be all filled in when you get to listen to it tomorrow. And we'll be monitoring Kyler Murray, Trey Hendrickson, all the other ones, and we'll be probably filling this back in next week. We also have an exciting guest coming soon from outside of the network who's going to be coming to talk to us that Fletch's God for us, so we'll be looking out for that soon. Just from so sorry, I don't know why my voice is going bad. Great podcasting, guys. We are just so you know, we will be going to Monday only shows for the rest of the off season, which I'm sure everybody's been told. And but there will be a mixture of hosts from between the two shows, the Monday and Thursday shows. Sam will be in here. We got Batch, obviously, Oli, Tom, myself, and we are going to look to try to get some more guests to come in every once in a while too. maybe from some of the other pods on the AAW network. Maybe we might get somebody on from the college pod pre-draft. We will have a mock draft show coming up soon as well, which is always very exciting. So stay with us on the off season. Tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your dog, whomever listens to podcasts in your neck of the woods.
When you go visit your grandparents at the nursing home, put it on loudspeaker for everyone to listen. That is
just follow and subscribe. That's all we need. Just subscribe. Just say, hey, can I use your phone for 3 minutes, and just subscribe. So help us keep going the network. Also, please be reaching out to us, interact with us. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'd love more questions, more thoughts.
Buddy wants more people to tweet at. So yeah.
Don't worry, I'm not on Twitter still, but they tell me about what happens on Twitter. So it's just like I'm grandpa, and they come in, they explain stuff to me. It's very exciting. All right, guys, enough of this preamble of an end. Do we have anything else you want to hit, guys, before you want to go?
All right, Brad.
Go Falcons.
Go Chiefs offense.
There we go. All right, guys. And what are we going to do? We're going to hurdle that league new year. Boom.